Ever since the Nintendo Switch has come out, people have viewed the console as the perfect device to watch streaming apps such as Netflix, maybe Amazon Prime, BBC iPlayer, all those sort of things on the go. It can be a device that you can play your favourite Nintendo games, third-party games, and stream your favourite programs or films while outside the house, as well as obviously docking it and putting it on the telly as well. So the place where you can basically stream all your media, play all the favourite games at the same time. Obviously the massive thing for the Switch is the fact it's portable as well as being a home console, so taking it away with you, taking it everywhere on the go is kind of a big thing that Nintendo's trying to push for the console. So people are wondering why there is a lack of apps or access to the internet. Why there's a lack of Netflix, one of the biggest apps out there, on the console. However, that hopefully might be about to change. So Netflix has announced that it is still exploring the possibility of getting an app onto the Nintendo Switch, and that it does eventually hope to launch a Netflix app on the Nintendo Switch console. However, it is not guaranteed at this point. So a Nintendo fan took to Twitter to tweet to Netflix support account the possibility of an app of Netflix coming to the Nintendo Switch. And Netflix originally replied with the following message: "Hey there are currently no plans for Netflix on the Nintendo Switch, and we appreciate your feedback on it." So this basically sparked an outrage that Netflix wasn't really going to launch an app on the Nintendo Switch, even though previous rumours have suggested they might offer an app in the short term, or in the near future. However, it looks like Netflix has backtracked on those comments and reaffirmed their actual stance on an app on the Nintendo Switch, with a much more positive response. So again, they took to Twitter to post this: "Correction, we are still exploring the opportunity with Nintendo, but we don't have any definite plans to share at this time. The incorrect original tweet has now been removed." So it all seems positive that Netflix are happy and are looking into the possibility of putting their app on the Nintendo Switch. It looks like it's something that they want to do and push through, but what is the sort of hurdle? What is stopping them from doing it? Well, it looks like it could be Nintendo themselves. So Nintendo were asked to comment on the situation, and the Nintendo spokesperson basically said there was no updates to share right now. Personally, I think Nintendo will be open to the idea of putting the app on the Switch at some point. Maybe it's something to do with getting their online infrastructure up and running first, as there's still a grey area in terms of what's going to be offered by Nintendo in terms of when they do offer their paid online service, which they have announced, sort of, but haven't actually announced any details or a date that it will be sort of implemented from, having pushed it back from last summer. 6 months later, we still do not know anything about it. So it could be the fact that they are trying to sort of make sure that online infrastructure works before a lot of people take to the Nintendo Switch to start streaming more regular. I don't know, I'm just sort of having a guess at this stage. But you would think that Nintendo and Netflix would both benefit from having such an app on the console. I mean, Nintendo's pushing their console as a portable console, and being able to watch stuff on the go, not just play games, is a good option. It means instead of taking your Switch and your iPad, for example, or your phone, and using both on a journey, so you've got a choice, you've got to take two devices. You can now take one that does both. So you can play your games on the Switch and watch stuff on the Switch instead of playing games on the Switch and watching stuff maybe on your tablet. Some people would maybe decide they only want to take the tablet, and then the Switch is losing out as a result. And that also might determine some people's decisions in terms of whether buying the console in the long run. I'm sure it wouldn't be a large proportion of people that don't buy a Switch because it hasn't got Netflix and other apps available on it, but it might affect some people's reasoning when purchasing the console, who knows. However, there is a school of thought that having Netflix on the Switch could backfire on Nintendo, because it risks turning the console primarily from maybe a gaming console, a portable / home gaming console, into an entertainment device, and maybe you lose the magic of what the Switch is and what the Switch is about. I'm not sure how much that will sort of come into fruition. You know it's primarily going to be for games. It's a Nintendo console after all, and I don't think Netflix will be the primary reason people use the console for. It's just something nice to have as well. I mean, personally, I'm not that bothered because I've got so many devices I've got Netflix on, and if I want to take my Switch, I'm going to take it. But some people might like to have it all in one place, and it might be a lot more beneficial for those people to have Netflix available, so they don't have to take multiple devices like I said earlier. Or if it's a choice between plugging in the PlayStation 4, the Xbox for example, into your telly or the Nintendo Switch, and you know that maybe come in night time you're going to be watching stuff instead of playing games, you might pick one of the others because you know that you're going to want to watch something, whereas the Switch doesn't offer that support right now. So maybe, they might have the console, but it turns into a bit of a dust collector as a result of not having the media functions, including, for example, playing DVDs. But as streaming is more prominent these days, obviously Netflix would be justifiably enough for Nintendo not to have the ability to read discs in terms of Blu-rays and DVDs. However, Netflix would make that irrelevant, I think. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Nintendo should be pushing to get Netflix and other streaming apps on the console? I know they've already got Hulu, but that's only in America, and it's just the first and only of its kind at this point. So do you think they should be pushing more for Netflix being the biggest one? Or do you think it's fine, they don't need that sort of thing on Nintendo Switch? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more Nintendo Switch news.